Have you ever pondered the condition of Florida's housing market in the year 2024? Let's examine it. Utilizing data and news articles from that year, we can take an in-depth look. The US housing market had been on a significant incline, with the total valuation reaching a record $52 trillion. Among this growth, Florida had emerged as a dominant player, outpacing New York in terms of housing value. But what propelled this surge in 2024? Reports indicate new construction to be the main growth driver. Builders had been actively addressing the housing deficit, leading to an upward trend in housing inventory levels. This inventory growth was particularly visible in Florida, leading the nation in year-over-year inventory expansion. In Florida, cities like Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville had experienced remarkable growth. However, it wasn't just the charm of sunlit beaches and dynamic urban life that drew people to these locations. A significant wave of individuals relocating significantly contributed to this growth. Drawn by the state's inviting climate, diverse culture, and booming economy, these new residents flocked into the state. Yet, it wasn't only the major cities that expanded. Emerging as popular home buyer destinations were smaller cities such as Orlando, Northport, Sarasota, and Tampa. Whether enticed by Orlando's theme parks, the cultural wealth of Northport, Sarasota, or the pulsing business scene in Tampa, these cities attracted a growing number of home buyers. Despite this growth in inventory and influx of new residents, the market faced challenges. Home prices had seen a modest rise and potential buyers confronted these escalating costs. However, builders evolved with the times, offering smaller homes and incentives like interest rate buy-downs, which could potentially lead to a decrease in home prices for new buyers in the long run. In 2024, with new home sales forecasted to rise and Florida surpassing New York in housing value, the Sunshine State became a key player in the market. And now you might be questioning, what does the surge in Florida's housing inventory in 2024 imply for home purchasers? Let's unpack it. Based on recent 2024 news articles, the influence of swelled inventory levels on the housing market has been quite profound. The age-old principle, supply and demand, remains key. When the supply increases, in our scenario the housing inventory, it can exert a downward push on prices. The logic is straightforward. With a greater number of houses on offer, competition amongst buyers reduces, potentially leading to price drops. Now, this may seem perplexing given the US housing market's recent trends. As per reports, in the fourth quarter of 2024, the median home prices in the US saw a significant rise. Yes, that's a hefty amount. Add to this the mortgage rates that hiked to an astounding percentage. The affordability of homes has posed a major obstacle for many potential buyers. But here's the interesting part. The markets witnessing these price escalations are those grappling with an inventory deficit. The more constrained the supply, the more the demand, and consequently the higher the prices. But what's the scenario when there's an inventory surge, as we're observing in Florida in 2024? Interestingly, it possesses the capacity to balance or even lower these inflated prices. So if we focus on Florida's current situation, the upsurge in housing inventory could be a blessing for first-time home buyers. A greater number of homes on the market, competition amongst buyers could lessen, possibly driving prices downward. This could make homeownership a more reachable dream, for although affordability issues continue, the swell in Florida's housing inventory in 2024 could be a beacon of hope for potential home buyers. It's a vibrant market, and these shifts in inventory could possibly signal a turn towards a more buyer-friendly climate in the long. So, for those contemplating a shift to the Sunshine State, it might be the right time to closely monitor the market. But how does Florida's 2024 housing market stack up against other states, you may be wondering? Let's take a more in-depth look. As we navigate the national housing landscape of 2024, it's evident that not all markets share the same characteristics. Certain states, like California, have seen a recent downturn in their housing prices, according to a 2024 CNN report. This is in sharp contrast to the Florida market, which, as Business Insider reported in 2024, has witnessing a pronounced increase in value. While California's markets are confronting price drops, Florida's market is thriving, outpacing even New York in terms of housing value. This is primarily due to the state's new construction initiatives aimed at alleviating the housing shortage, coupled with an influx of people relocating to the state. Cities such as Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville are witnessing noteworthy expansion, solidifying Florida's position in the national housing market. Interestingly, Florida builders are responding to the market's demands by offering smaller homes and incentives like interest rate buy-downs. This strategy appears to be successful, as Florida continues to lure an increasing number of home buyers. Hotspots include Orlando, Northport, Sarasota, and Tampa, pushing Florida's housing market to previously unseen heights. However, Florida isn't the only state experiencing changes. The Northeast, for instance, recorded the highest price increase of 5.3% in the fourth quarter of 2024, a stark contrast to California's slowing prices. These market fluctuations across the US underscore the dynamic nature of the housing market as a whole. Yet despite the inconsistencies and volatility in other state markets, Florida seems to be flourishing. It has not only kept pace but outperformed other key markets, demonstrating its resilience and adaptability. Hence, while some states wrestle with declining home prices and affordability issues, Florida's housing market continues its upward trajectory, drawing home buyers from all corners. The state's approach to addressing housing deficits and adapting to market demands has undoubtedly paid dividends. The challenges in other markets, Florida seems to have found a way to keep growing in 2024. So what does the future beyond 2024 hold for Florida's housing market? We've observed from news articles and expert projections in 2024, the Sunshine State's housing market is showing a strong momentum, and the future promises a stunning evolution. The forward trends suggest a sustained rise in housing inventory, with builders strategizing to tackle the housing deficit. This wave of new construction is a catalyst powering the overall growth of the US housing market. With Florida's housing value outstripping even New York, the state is now being seen as a significant player in the market. This growth is especially remarkable in cities like Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville, where an influx of relocating individuals even beyond 2024 is stimulating a real estate blitz. The future of Florida's housing market beyond 2024 illuminates brightly in these urban hubs, but the upswing isn't restricted to these cities. Other areas in Florida, such as Orlando, Northport, Sarasota, are also emerging as coveted destinations. These locations are drawing an increasing number of home buyers, further bolstering Florida's standing in the national housing market. The anticipated rise in inventory levels is a positive indication for prospective buyers. More inventory means greater choices, and in the long run, it could potentially lead to more competitive prices. This could make the dream of owning a home more reachable for many beyond 2024. However, it's not just the buyers who stand to gain. Builders are adjusting to the market conditions by offering smaller homes and incentives like interest rate buy-downs. They are playing a pivotal role in molding the future of Florida's housing market beyond 2024. With the value of the US housing market standing at $51.9 trillion in 2024, and new home sales projected to ascend, Florida's housing market is undoubtedly one to keep an eye on. The state's notable growth, fueled by new construction and an influx of home buyers, lays the groundwork for a hopeful future. So as we gaze beyond 2024, we can envisage a vigorous and flourishing housing market in Florida, a market that offers opportunities for both builders and buyers, and a market that continues to expand and adapt. It's clear that Florida's housing market is on a forward-moving trajectory, with myriad opportunities for both builders and buyers even beyond 2024. So, what can we infer from all this data, you may wonder? Taking a journey through the energetic panorama of Florida's housing market in 2024, we have delved into the factors that have molded its current state and what the future holds. The year witnessed a significant upswing in housing inventory in the Sunshine State, outpacing national growth. This growth was primarily fueled by new constructions in response to the housing shortage. Such efforts did not go unnoticed, as Florida's housing market valuation skyrocketed to unprecedented heights, underlining its increasing allure. Moreover, we've unraveled the ripple effects of this inventory escalation. Surprisingly, this growth has proven advantageous for first-time home buyers. As the supply of homes swelled, it relieved the price pressure, making way for more budget-friendly options in the long haul. When up against other states, Florida's unique standing became more pronounced. While several markets, especially California, saw price drops, Florida's market remained vigorous and versatile. Cities such as Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville saw significant expansion, magnetizing a growing audience of home buyers. Peering into the future, the prospects of Florida's housing market continue to shimmer. With new home sales on the rise and a consistent flow of individuals relocating, the state's housing market is set for continued growth. Amidst these trends, one thing remains clear: Florida's housing market in 2024 was a landscape teeming with opportunities, and it's certainly a trend worth tracking.